So I thought I'll do this quick video, but actually none of my videos ever quick, but a video unplanned. Let's put it that way, about a strategy to handle verbal ability and reading comprehension section. Right? Many have asked me, said it's a pain, what to do with VRC, what is the best strategy for it. So I thought I'll explain that to you. And I will explain this in the context of type of traps in the question when it comes to reading comprehension. Before I get there, let me give you a context. When we had the 3 hour paper, not 3 year, 3 hour, 3 year paper, 3 hour paper, we had 1 hour for verbal ability and reading comprehension, which is 60 minutes. Right? And we had 5 passages and 10 questions of VA. 5 RC passages, 10 questions of VA. Now, if I say that I will take about 9 minutes per passage, which was reasonable, somebody who's done reasonably well should be able to manage a passage in 9 minutes. I get 45 minutes there. And then for this 10 VA question, let's say that I take 1.5 minutes per question, then I have 15 minutes, which means I can safely look at all the passages in that 60 minutes. Makes a lot of sense. Now, when we have this 40 minutes business, and for some reason, the cat gave 4 passages, and those passages were 500 words passages. It's not like this passage was short. These 5 passages were also roughly about 500 words. There's also 500 words, which and then 8 questions of VA. There were 8 questions. So now if I use the same logic, we have got 9 minutes per passage. That's 36 minutes. And 8 question, let's put that logic is 1.5 minutes per question. Then that is 12 minutes. That is 48 minutes. Oh my God. So this test and this test, therefore, is different. What ideally I think the cat should have done or should do in a 40-minute scenario is to give 3 passages. Now, 3 passages in 9 minutes would give 27 minutes. 8 question of VA multiplied by 1.5 minutes would be about 12 minutes. That'll be 39 minutes. That would make more sense. But I don't know whether cat is going to make this correction. Let's assume that cat is going to do this. Now, what do? We have to do those 8 VA questions. Can I do this 8 VA question in 8 minutes? Probably not. There is paragraph jumble that we have to handle. I think odd sentence, we can't handle that in that minute. We may require 1.5 minutes. So which means I don't have this much time with that. So I have 28 minutes here, which means I have to do this passage in 7 minutes. Or maybe I can manage this in 10 minutes. So I have to do this in 30 minutes, which means 7.5 minutes. So 7 to 8 minutes per passage. That is crazy. So what choice do we have? We have one choice, which is saying that I will not do all the 4 passages. Let me do 3 passages, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes for 3 passages, and probably 10 minutes for the VA question. That's a good logic. So, but how do I select these 10 passages? Should I then spend some time figuring out how to look at this passage? What should I do? So it is in this context that I thought that I'll talk about an idea to you for your consideration. Think about this. Okay. Now, which is where I'm going to come to the type of traps. In answer choices, let's say there is question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4. Let's say 4 questions in a passage. And let's say options are A, B, C, D. Let's assume that for all these questions, A is the answer choice. Assumption. Now, there are wrong answer choices. How do they create wrong answer choices? The deadly ones are those answer choices which are very appealing but wrong. Maybe one word made it wrong, or it's a main idea question. And then this is not actually giving a detail instead of main idea, true information, but did not answer the question. They put some rotten word, bad words. When I say bad words, something that made the answer choice wrong. Very difficult to identify these ones. So these are the dangerous ones. Then there is type 2 error, which is outright contradiction, something that is false, easy to eliminate. And type 3 errors are something that is not discussed by the author at all, some random things. Those are easy to eliminate. So this type 2, type 3 errors are easy to eliminate. Now, the question, one type of question is, let's assume that this error is either type 2, type 3, type 2, type 3, or type 2 or type 3, one of them. I'm just combining these two together as one type because it is easy to eliminate. Now, this question therefore becomes an easy question because you'll eliminate this, eliminate this, eliminate this, you'll pick this. And this probably about 70 to 80% of the people will get this kind of questions correct, so-called easy. What if I add one type 1 error, and then, so let me actually take another color for the type 1 error. Let's take type 1 error, and then I have this type 2, type 3 error added in other two questions. So I'll eliminate these two answer choices quickly, but then I'm going to sit and get confused between these two answer choices. So when people say that I can boil down to two answer choice, that is not an achievement. That is basically because the question is set in that particular manner. And then usually in this particular case, about 50 to 70 percentage or 50 to 60% of the people will get the question correct. Then I can create a question into two type 1 error and one type 1 or type 2 or type 3 error. And then you start having complete confusion. Maybe only 33% of the people will get the question correct. And then you have complete sadistic question setter, which create all type 1 error. Then you have difficult questions. Now the problem now is that I will only come to know the difficulty level of a question when I look at the options. Option makes a question difficult. How will I ever come to know that the passage is tough? What does passage is tough means? What does that even mean? What does that mean? It means nothing. Passage is tough because I don't understand maybe sentence structure. Yes, it is. But still, there is no guarantee that all the questions are going to be easy. And this is not as though one passage will have all same level of difficulty. So what do we do in this particular case? Now here I had very recently in one of the session gave a pre-session test, which had got four passages. And four passages, and in the four passages I gave four questions each. The cat has got two passages with five questions. Here I gave four questions each in that test, and I actually gave 30 minutes for people to solve. So that's what I gave, and this was the outcome. And this one talks about when I did analysis of that particular this is percentage of people who attempted the passage, that particular question, and percentage of people who got that question correct. So if you simply look at for the time being the percentage attempt the question, for some reason people went and so all of them decided to solve number two. The first one, some 20% of the people ditched it. Again, 20% ditched it. 20% this one. So people are having this strategy that I will solve. What do you say? Questions which are passages which are easy. I will have out of the four passages, I'll pick up three. Now let's look at accuracy. Accuracy is actually depend upon what I discussed earlier in terms of the type 1 errors. How many are there? Basically, that is what accuracy is. Now let's look at that and then focus on this. Here we have got this question, which is like 10% of them got right. This question is tough. And we have got a couple of questions which are of moderate level. Here there was one question that was kind of easy, one question which was of kind of moderate level, and then you had some of them which are probably tough. Here you had one question which is tough, and you've got a couple of questions in moderate easy level, and then one which is moderate level. In this case, you have got this one question which is very easy, one question moderate, probably easy to moderate. I think that this will be difficult. Okay, so let's put red here also. Sorry, let's put all anything above 50%. Let's for the time being put a green color, and this was probably moderate, and then you had something which is difficult. Now, if I actually look at the number of easy, maybe here a couple of questions were easy. This is about one was easy here. Couple of questions were easy and one very easy. The number of easy question is 2, 3, 6 questions, very easy. And since there are 16, so if 50 percentage was last year 99 percentile, so I probably will get two more questions here, and I'll get that. I'll get it right. But then if I decide for then I'm only going to do, let's say I'll not do this particular passage. What is going to happen? You will miss out on the two easy questions as well. Then you're forced to fight with these questions. So is that a good strategy? You tell me. But now the question is, what do I do? We have only 7 minutes. Let's start by this understanding that I may take about 3 to 4 minutes reading each of these passages. It's about 500 words, right? If you read it about 150 words per minute and on a higher side 100 words per minute, and some passage, not every passage will be difficult to read, some will be easy to read. So you have about 3 to 4 minutes reading that particular passage. Now the trick is, therefore, can I knock off the questions in 3 to 4 minutes? And there it is only about if I am in this particular, so this particular question, okay, manageable. I eliminated, got it right. So I probably would have solved this question, let's say under 1 minute. This question under 1 minute, less than 1 minute, less than 1 minute. Then this question, I was looking at the option, I got confused. Then what should I do? If I stick around and try to answer the question, I may end up spending 2 to 3 minutes. That is the biggest time waste. You go back to the passage and do that. Let's say I do here, I'll stick to this 2 to 3 minutes. Before you know it, this has become 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, and so on and so forth. The reason why you're ending up taking a lot of 10 minutes has got nothing to do with the passage. It has to do with the question. If you're sensible, what would I'm getting confused? Let me chuck this question. And chuck this question, all I'm confused. Okay, fine, fine. What I did is that in about 7 minutes in total, I solved 2 questions and got 6 marks. And I jumped to the next one. And that, ladies and gentlemen, may be a better idea. What is that you need? You need 1 mark per minute, right? Which would be a good idea, right? I think that's great. In 40 minutes, I need 40 marks. So long as in 7 minutes you get 6 marks, slightly more than that, it's great. And maybe this particular thing you'll solve, let's say these three. You chuck this one. Let's say here you took a gamble here, but solved it. Here you solve these three. And then you say, okay, I got 3 from here. I got 3 from here. I got 2 from here. I got 2 from here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 I got 30 marks done. And I go do the VA. Now, I have to, at some point in time, we have decide that this is what I'm going to do, which means I have to then look at and develop my ability to comprehend a passage. I cannot be reading a passage in 3 minutes by simply reading it fast. I have to develop the skill of understanding a passage. That's what I have to develop. And it may not happen in 1 day, it may not happen in 2 days, but I have a direction in which this is what I want to achieve, then it'll achieve. And that to me is a better way of looking at VARC. That I don't need to solve all the questions. If I get confused, I'll just move, go to the next question. For example, if I read a passage in 3 minutes, I solved one question, got confused in the rest of them, and I chucked everything. I just got 3 marks, but I got the 3 marks in about 5 minutes. Great, I'll move on. If I got some time, I'll come back. But I'm almost going 1 mark per minute, slightly less here. But still, I'm going at that particular target. Now, in this, you might make some genuine mistake here and there, which is fine. Now, I'm not saying in any way that the strategy of solving 3 out of the 4 passages is a bad strategy. I'm not saying that. I'm merely saying that there is this element of risk. And we can only decide on those passages based on your comfort level of the passages. You can't even look at the question, inference question, therefore it's going to be tough. No. Whether inference question, main idea question, this question, that question, at the end of the day, it all boils down to, ladies and gentlemen, how options are created. And we'll never get to know the difficult level of the question before you reach the options. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a problem. And therefore, this, ladies and gentlemen, should be the approach. That's what I think. Let me know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. And that ends my quick video. Bye. See you.